What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with the weekly Xbox Beastfire podcast. A few things I wanted to tackle today. Of course, you guys some things you guys want to talk about also, but what has grabbed my attention. First of all, for those of you that are new to the show, I got the usual suspects: T. Sweaty Balls Reaper. He's back in the background somewhere, following himself.
I'm not going anywhere.
I got my boy Dealer and the tech guy Dean. We're back, like I said, with the weekly podcast. Like I said, we can hop right into it today. There are several news, I think, outlets. I think I saw it on Polygon and Kotaku. Now they're saying that Microsoft may be getting out of gaming. They just showed up two brand new pieces of hardware, invested billions of dollars in the R&D and all this Windows 10 and and all these exclusives now, and has at least at minimum a six T-flop console that's releasing next year. You got the Xbox One S that's releasing this year. Now Microsoft maybe getting out.
Bro, if there's any signs I've ever seen of a company leaving gaming, it's for them to invest a bunch of shit in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying this with the OG Xbox when Microsoft were doing all that. They were saying it with the 360. These people are fucking morons. It's clickbait. Don't fall for it. Champ Chong, fuck you, dude.
You know what, Joe? I should say it's crazy as hell. Like they just what the fuck? I didn't notice it. Maybe the generation prior, maybe because I wasn't so much within the loop, or not saying like I'm within the loop, but paid attention too much. I was, as such, I wasn't doing the whole gaming stuff. Only to the end of the 360 era. You know what I mean? But I don't recall it being as bad for Microsoft. Before them not getting a fair shake within the media last generation. Like, what are you guys' thoughts about that?
Bro, it's still popular. It's still popular since 2012 when they announced all this shit with the X1. It's still popular in clickbait to say shit like Microsoft, the biggest gaming company in the world, by the way, are getting out of gaming.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So people, the new rumor is Microsoft's getting out of gaming, even though they have Windows 10. They have two upcoming consoles. They have exclusives every year, and they keep coming over and over again. Like, you guys on pony crack?
Wait, you love me. Hey, Dane.
You know what, man? These guys, they're scared. They're scared. They're shaking in their boots, man. They're like, what the heck, man? We trolled these guys the whole generation having the most powerful console. How can we downplay this? They're just trying anything they can to downplay this. If anyone that has common sense, they just released the Xbox One S, so they're going to support that. Let's say minimum for 5 years. You got the Xbox Scorpio coming out next year. I don't know what type of logic these people use. How does that signal that you're getting out of the console business, console gaming, when you're releasing new hardware? That makes no sense. You'd release no hardware. You'd go straight to PC then. Say, peace, we're out later. Deuces.
Yeah. They went through the trouble, bro, to get Patrick Sutherland and all these people from Battlefield and all these developers in that Scorpio reveal trailer to just say all this shit for no reason.
Well, if ponies had any common sense, you wouldn't hype up your PS4 power over and over again since 2013 and then not expect power to come back in your face and like, now Microsoft has the more powerful item. What are you guys gonna do now? Oh, we're going to talk games. What games? What games?
It's not something. I'm not even talking about, of course, like the ponies. I'm just talking about the
media.
Yeah. That's who's saying now that Microsoft is getting out of gaming. It's a couple.
And of course, the ponies are gonna run with it. And the thing that keeps blowing my mind is you motherfuckers act like you've been dominating for a decade. No, you were getting molested. Straight molested for a decade by Xbox 360. The PS3 finally caught the 360 with a free Blu-ray player and free online. That's the only reason. And after that, all that time, but you still got destroyed in overall software sales. Not even close. So you didn't win that generation either. So I don't know why you guys are so surprised by all this. You only been on top for a few years, so calm the fuck down.
Hey, do you guys know why they say that Sony beat Microsoft at E3?
Why?
Because it was that orchestra.
Man.
It was so majestic.
Yeah. Well, I will, like I said, give credit before Sony. Maybe I don't know if they enter the theatrics into movies and music. Sony, does well revealing it. Even with their commercials, though, I give credit where credit's due. But even Microsoft, when Microsoft really does a good commercial, they do a really good commercial. Like when they had the unveiling of the Xbox One, and the Titan was all in the street, and you had the zombies in the street, and Forza. Like I thought that shit was top notch. That's probably about the last. Probably I just one that I can recall that the launch commercial for the Xbox One, and the guy was at work. He said, "Fuck this," and he had the Rise, Son of Rome. Everyone was out in the street for all the exclusive. I thought that was dope shit. But anyway, get back to what we were talking about as far as this is no good. Get your cup. This one is no good. Get the other one. But because of what we were talking about as far as the with the media, because I just don't know what the hell it is. But now it's not even so much that. Here's the other thing now. But since Microsoft have came out, right? Because now the narrative is changing. Now we're going to have the quote unquote the more powerful console. And I don't know if this is even considered a new generation or is this going to be the same generation. Get your cup, Mike. Same generation, but now they're going to have the quote unquote the better version of the multiplats going forward, right? Now the narrative is not about games. Now it's about it's not about hardware and power. Now it's about games. You know what I mean? Well, Microsoft is giving exclusives. You know what I mean? But now they're trying to say no, it's not. It's not really about the power. It's about the games. What do you guys thoughts about that?
I think this whole shift is the end of the generation. There's going to be no more generations. Everything is going to be forward. At least I can speak on Microsoft's side. Everything's going to be forward and backwards compatible going forward. So there's not really going to be any generations. It's kind of going to be like the iPhone refresh, but just not as frequent. It's not going to be like every year. It'll be like maybe every 3 to 4 years. You can go get new hardware or possibly get an add-on to upgrade your hardware. But I think that's where I think the generation thing, it's done. Technology, it's moving too fast, man. Like you buy a car 2 weeks from now. You bought a car like a month ago, like 2 months down the road, that car is like obsolete. Like this new car with new tech and all kinds of new gadgets. Like technology is just progressing so fast, rapidly. So those 7, 6, 5 year console generation, it's going to be dead in the water, man. It's going to be every 3 to 4 years. And the part about the games, I don't know what they brag about the games for, because all the games that they've shown at E3, those games are coming out for a long time. They don't even have release dates. I was looking on Amazon's bestseller, and I saw the what is that? The Strand game that he's making. What's it called? Dead Stranding or something?
The what game?
The from Metal, the creator from Metal Gear.
The Naked Man and Naked Baby Simulator. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
that thing is like in the
like
top
a 2020
for pre-orders. That game has no release. That game hasn't even started to be made yet. How is that at the top 20 pre-order list?
Bro, this is nothing. This is absolutely nothing new. They've been doing this for several E3s. They'll announce shit that don't come out for 3. Though Ubisoft the fuck at every single E3. Show you something 5 years before it even comes out. So it's no surprise. Not a surprise at all.
Yeah. But you know what? At the end of the day, I will say this though. I got to eat my words. I didn't think that the quote unquote the Slim would have any bearing onto what's going on. Why spend the money on the Artist Street the box? With you taking the same problems that with the box? I didn't think the motherfucker would sell, to be honest with you. But maybe because Sony hasn't came out and officially announced it. Well, they did have announced the Neo, but hasn't presented it to the audience, and you know, of course, you know, we all seen the specs or rumored specs, whatever the case may be, and they haven't maybe because they haven't come out and talked about the specs of the console stuff. Like the actual, it was, I don't know if it came today, but the Xbox One S was actually outselling the PlayStation 4 on Amazon. I'm gonna go look right now. I think it was number 1, and it went down to 16, but I think the PlayStation 4 is at number 20. You know what I mean? I didn't think it would sell that well. I still haven't yet to go in and reserve mine, and we're going to probably do it this weekend. But I think that was, I guess, was ingenious. You know what? I will say this. I think that the Xbox brand overall, after E3, I was talking to Tim Dog yesterday. Shut my boy Tim. And I was asking, like, how was the morale and everything after Microsoft came out and showed the quote-unquote new hardware, because I remember those fucking guys on BGST was going back and forth with me, right? And I was just telling them, just going by what was told to me. But besides that, going forward, you understand what I'm saying? That oh, they needed new hardware. You know what I mean? And some people, nah, we just got the Xbox One. But like I said before, we as Xbox fans, we haven't got the chance to really sit back and enjoy our games. So I'm looking right on Amazon. Right now the Xbox One Elite bundle is only fucking $350. That's with the Elite controller and every goddamn thing. I might say, damn, fuck the. I was thinking, I want to say, fuck the Xbox One S and get the fucking Elite bundle for another Elite controller. This shit right here is only fucking $350. That's bananas. Wow. Fucking banana. But anyway, I'm sorry. Back to what I was saying. So, I should ask them how were the Xbox fans, how were they feeling? And because according to the thing on Google, that at the E3 or during E3, Microsoft was the #1 conference that was talked about. You know what I mean? Throughout all the media and all the clicks and stuff on these websites. And he said the Xbox fans were happy. Now, I don't know. I don't forget her. I think she works for people with E3 Studios, the black woman. She was like, "This is the game. This is the console. I'm sorry, that the gamers wanted." You know what I mean? So, hey, what do you guys feel about that? Like, as you guys being Xbox fans, I assume, how would you guys feeling after Microsoft came out there and say, you know what, we got the most powerful console in the world? Like, how did you guys feel about that?
I was happy, and I was satisfied that they finally got off their ass and came on screen and say, you know what, Sony, fuck you. We got the most powerful console. Go find something else.
Well, what about you, Dealer? Dealer Gaming? Dealer?
Sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls.
Yeah. I think it's good that they're taking the offensive for the first time in literally years. If you look back in like 2011, 2012, they were bragging about their exclusives on Twitter and this and that, and now they're like, like they're really timid here lately. And it's a good thing they've come out ahead of the curve. And they wouldn't have announced they wouldn't have talked numbers like they have. They've thrown numbers out there several times, confirmed them, if they didn't know they had the most powerful console right now in regards to the X1 and Neo. Now people are saying Neo isn't really meant to compete with that. You guys are full of shit. They both did the same thing, but Microsoft won this time. I don't know what the fuck kind of crack you're smoking, but of course, one of the wealthiest companies on the planet, yeah, of course they can destroy Sony anytime they choose if they put the money and manpower behind it. So they came out on top this time. It's a great thing. 6 T-flops is fucking insane for a console, and I'm pretty fucking excited.
Yeah, because now Sony fans are saying that the Scorpio is the Xbox 2 and that the Neo is his Xbox.
Yeah, they're all in the same ecosystem. It's been confirmed over and over and over. It's part of the Xbox One family. Taken right out of Phil's mouth. Yes, it is an Xbox One, but more powerful.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Dean?
Well, for me, I felt vindicated because for like the last part of last year, I had big feuds with that stupid Parasite character that you guys know on Twitter.
Oh man, fuck.
and Mr. X and all these guys. I told these guys from way back in January. These guys, they're delusional. These guys are like, oh, Xbox One, you're gonna hit a switch and it's gonna go to 5.5 teraflops. I'm like, dude, it's like 1.3 teraflops. Microsoft even says it in their own papers. And I kept telling these guys were like, oh, it's gonna get 4K. It's like, listen, it doesn't have HDMI 2.0.
They can't even support 4K without HDMI 2.0.
No, you can't. These guys thought, oh, software's going to make it into HDMI 2.0.
Those are the guys that make all of us look bad, man.
Oh, my gosh. So all year I've been, like, blasting these guys, saying you guys are a bunch of morons. So for me, when they announced Scorpio, it was like vindication. It was, like, in your face. And then on top of that, I felt proud as a Microsoft supporter that we finally have the power back into our court, that the narrative is going to change. We're no longer going to have the weak multiplats. We're no longer going to be known for having the weakest system, and I was excited. And the S console surprised me, as I knew it was kind of coming for 4K, but the HDR gaming, that totally surprised me. I had no idea that they were going to be releasing HDR gaming with that system.
And that thing is selling well for the 4K Blu-ray player alone. I mean, that's what some people aren't thinking about. Why is this even here? Of course it's going to be here. It's one of the best 4K Blu-ray players, the package overall, at a really competitive price. So it's kind of common sense.
Yeah. Damn. Wonder what they call me. T, Sweaty Balls with me, you there?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I'm here. Take your hands out your pants, put your hands around your microphone, right? Sweaty Balls. How did you feel, balls sweaty and all, when Microsoft came out and said, guess what, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we have the world's most powerful console? How did you feel, Sweaty Balls?
Well, I felt that I need to go balance my checkbook in 2017.
You always talking about that checkbook, man. What's going on with that checkbook, man? Yo,
Nah, man, yo, man, I have to ask all
all
my coworkers for hours this month and next month, man. I want that S, but then next year I'm probably gonna have to spend my, my tax return on that shit.
That's what I'm talking about, man. He done came about 5 black kids on his taxes.
No,
I can
no,
dig
no,
it. I can
no,
dig
I mean,
sweaty balls. I can dig it, man. Listen, man.
I like when
Loose
those,
lips
I
sink
like
ship.
when ponies and media are proven wrong. I like that shit. That shit gives me fuel. That gives me, common sense subjects to talk about. But you had all the ponies, all the media. It's like PS4 has the most powerful console this generation. And then Microsoft's just sitting here, be like, we don't care. We don't care about the console war. Let Sony do what they do. And then finally, what, they're like, Sony's gone too far. You know what, Sony? Here's our most powerful console. You can basically go back to the drawing board or find some money to basically decide to make something better.
Okay, well, but before I go any further, I want to give T Reaper T Sweaty Balls a round of applause for beating the system, for collecting welfare, and doing his taxes, man. All right. So, but listen, we can touch on this. There's 3 more topics we can touch on. I hear that people were getting sick at Sony. Did you guys hear about it at Sony's E3 VR presentation? Did you hear anything about it, guys?
Oh yeah, that VR is gonna make people go blind.
Well, yeah. Let me
You're gonna need glasses, ponies. You're gonna need glasses.
No, it was giving people, because you need to maintain, if I'm not mistaken, at least 60 per eye, for you won't have, motion sickness. But Dan, you actually checked it out, the VR or whatever. Did you feel anything, made you sick? But there were several reports.
Yeah, I read some of the reports. Some of the writers from some sites were doing it, and they said that they felt kind of nauseous in certain games. I will say though that I don't know the demos that they were trying, but the demos that I did try, they were holding up frame rate, and I'm not really susceptible to motion sickness from VR. But I can see how someone could easily get sick because it becomes so. How can I describe it? It becomes so real that you kind of forget about your limbs and where you actually are, and you actually get into that world. So shit's happening. Like say you're like falling down, like you feel like you're actually falling down, and I could see people becoming nauseous. Like I have a Gear VR, the Samsung Gear VR. It's like a roller coaster shit, and we put it on. And like I have some people, they take it off. Like I try to demo it at my place, and they take it off. Like, no, I can't do it. Oh my god, I can't do it. Oh my god, it's like so real. Oh my god, I thought it's dropping.
Well,
So VR is it can make you sick. I don't want to say it's 100% on the frame rate, but
well,
I don't know. I'd have to try that demo.
I watched the VR conference. I think it was back in April, and I saw a whole bunch of different VR models. The thing with the VR headset is your body's not moving; you're standing still. So, and it's the standing still with the brain on the VR that makes you motion sickness. With the different models of the VR, with like the walker, the ones that you're walking in place with the headset, that basically alleviates. So if your entire body is moving, that takes away 50% of it. But if you just have the headset and you're sitting down, that's where the motion sickness comes from.
Okay.
So they're trying different types. There was this skateboard that moves your feet from side to side, so that did 50-50. But I think what really did it was that Oculus and the treadmill. That basically they were wearing the Oculus and moving at the same time in virtual.
I forgot the name of the contraption.
Yeah. So some companies basically hit it by 50-50. So they alleviate only 50% of consumers now feel that. But the problem with the PlayStation VR is it's not acceptable for children under 13 or something like that.
Okay, but check it out though. The what the hell I was about to tell you? That was important. Jesus Christ, about the VR most. Oh yeah. As far as the PlayStation VR, the recommended age for PlayStation VR is 12 years old and up. You know what I mean?
12 and up, okay.
12 and up, that's what Sony's asking for. I don't know if you guys remember when the 3DS first came out.
Yeah, 3DS had motion sickness.
Yeah, it was making the kids, like they had epileptic seizures and all that weird shit, you know what I mean? But again, like I said, I do expect the quote-unquote the PlayStation 4 VR, because the hardcore are going to buy it first. The Wells, PlayStation diehard fanboys like me, I'm an Xbox dude. I was out there buying Kinect Sports just then, all that weird, homo weird shit. I put all that shit they want for the fucking Kinect, right? Sega All-Star Racing. I would never play no shit like that in the street. You know what I mean? Look at some of the fucking shittiest achievements I got in them fucking on fucking Kinect games. You know what I mean? So and like I said, this is their $400 quote unquote the Kinect. And I've also always said, for this VR to be successful, it has to be adapted by the third party, by the masses. I think what Sony should have did, and just to be honest from the rip, I guess, is that with quote-unquote the PlayStation 4 Neo, they should have came out and said that, hey, but I know why they didn't. They didn't want to hurt the sales of the quote-unquote vanilla PlayStation 4, that the VR will work better we have another console that's coming out, 4.5 teraflops, Sony, super duper world. It's really going to be the world's most powerful console, and so like that, because you got some people that went out and reserved this PlayStation VR already, and you're not going to see those same games like you saw at E3. Those are like regular, titles, that's going to look like, quote unquote PS4 games. You're going to get this shit that runs shitty and looks like PS2 and PS3 games. You're not going to get that same experience. So I think Sony should just came out and being honest from the rip, you know what I mean? Because people went out there, I think it's sold out or whatever little bit they put as far as reserve, as far as games.
Yeah, they made like 8 of them and sold all of them.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, that's just for the hype. I don't even think you can even reserve it anymore over here in GameStop or whatever the case may be. I believe so. Don't quote me on it. I don't think you can reserve it anymore.
I got 2 for a real special price. Holla.
Oh, okay. But yeah.
How do you guys feel about that VR comes out with 50 games by the end of the year?
Most of those games, I was looking. Sorry, most of those games they look like more experienced games. I seen a few clips. Some of them aren't like full games. Like Batman is not like a full game. It's just like an experience. So
like a simulation.
Yeah, some of them are going to be lackluster.
What was that called? Playroom or some shit with the PS4?
Yeah, but here's the question though. How much are they charging for these VR games? Are these shit $65 a pop?
That I don't think it said on stage, but I know the headset is $399.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, $399.
But how much is the
maybe they
fucking
can come with it? Oh, well, I highly doubt they would get 50.
I don't know. I think if I had to guess, I would say these games, the experience games, can't be any more than $49.
I don't know. We are talking about Sony, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about Sony. Okay, here's another thing too. The Last Guardian has a collector's edition.
Yeah, that raccoon game has a collector's edition.
Nah, that motherfucker half German Shepherd and half chicken. Hold on, right there.
You think they include all the clips from all the E3s past in the collector's edition that they showed?
I see that.
Does that collector's edition come with 8 years of waiting time?
Yeah, right. Tell me about it.
Or 8 years of or compensation. Here, we made you wait 8 years for this game. We're gonna give you compensation DLC.
Let me see here. I see that what's my man name? The Red Dragon. I guess he raised the question. I guess he did a deal because the Xbox One Scorpio is a 4K monster, but he's worried for whatever reason. Now, according to what Phil said, let me get you guys' opinion. According to, I guess, what Phil said, he wouldn't push the quote-unquote the 4K narrative. Let me ask you guys a question. Would you rather have 4K 30 or 1440p 60? Or, you know what I mean? My thing is that
I would prefer higher frame rate.
Yeah, I preferably I want 4K 60. I want you know what? In all honesty, and I tweeted this out to Phil, I want the option. I want the option of 1080p 60 frames per second, 1440p 60 frames per second, and 4K 30, or if they'll allow it for that game, 60 frames per second. So I can choose for myself. But if I have to choose between 4K 30, it would depend on the game, but most times I'd probably choose 1440p upscaled for the 60 frames per second. To be honest with you.
All right. What about you, Dealer?
Oh, 60 FPS every time, and that's why Red Dragon was worried. He wasn't worried. He knows the console is going to be ridiculously powerful and things like that, but he wants 60 FPS on every game, and he's not alone. Developers have shifted more towards 60 FPS this generation, obviously, and that's why certain titles run at 720p. They could cut that frame rate in half and raise it up to 1080 every time. But yeah, developers, just give us the option. There are a few games out there that do that. They give you the option between 30 and 60. It's not that hard to just do a res drop, but give us the option. With the Scorpio, you can max out games for years at 1080p, fully anti-aliased, 60 frames a second, a truly future-proof console if they do that.
Oh man, I guess I'm gonna be the one. Fucking give me. I want 4K. You know what? Know what I want? Just listen. Hear me out. The reason why I say that, okay? And I always say, I always told you guys, what I've always been on saying that resolution and frame rate does not a big deal to me. If it did, I would game on PC. I just play with what's comfortable for me. But this quote unquote, this generation, the narrative has all been about frames per second and pixel counting and resolution. So we all like just going. And I will say this, 6 teraflops in a console is much different than 6 teraflops on a fucking gaming rig, okay? Because you have a closed quote unquote a six, just say minimum 6 teraflops in a closed environment, and you can fully optimize for that
Yeah.
6 teraflops. It's not going to be the same thing as a 1080 or 1070 inside of the PC. You most likely will get better performance out of that console than you would out of a PC with the same specs. You know what I mean? Because first of
That's
all,
right.
what I mean, this is in layman's terms, even though you do have Windows or whatever on your Xbox One, it's not running the full operating system like a PC, which is a system hog, a resource hog. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. So you will be able actually to benefit more on the quote unquote Scorpion than you would have on a
So
PC.
you'd rather have 4K at all costs, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
but this is basically what I'm saying because I guess I don't know what but probably can work there, but I don't know if the PS4 will be able to run the demanding games at 4K. So guess what? Remember they gave the nod to Sony all the time about having the native 1080p, and our shit was 900p and at the upscale. Fuck that. Give us the nod. If the console can do 4K, fucking Phil Spencer should make the hey, fuck it. If you guys can hit 4K, you know what I mean? Fine, fuck it, hit 4K. What do you know what I mean? Fuck it. And give me the option. I don't give a fuck that bitch just crawling across the stage. At least I got that 4K fucking stamp. You see what Sony did with fucking Call of Duty, and that shit was dropping down to fucking 1080p, 30 frames per second. You know what I mean? And Microsoft went with a dynamic resolution, quote unquote. You know what I mean? And with a lock 60 frames. You know what I mean? Sony didn't give a fuck. Sony was pushing that narrative of 1080p. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this, bro. Let me ask you this. So, what if it was 4K, but the same exact settings you got now on Xbox One is in terms of in terms of textures and lighting and things like that? Would you still want 4K?
No, here's the thing. Again, now I'm saying.
I know it can do more, but I'm just
No.
asking.
No. Okay,
Would
no.
you
Well,
rather
again, it's
have-
not about the resolution for me. Of course, to me, textures and all that stuff gives me better. I want better graphics. Period. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna say, you know what? I'm not gonna sacrifice better graphics just to have 4K because I can
And
play
just to
fucking.
be clear, everyone, you can have both. You can have much better
Yeah.
resolution. and much
I'm
better
just saying, I
graphics
know
with
that, but
the
no.
Scorpio.
No, I want better graphics. Like I said, but with the 4K, you know what I mean? It's a prime example. You can play fucking Mario 64 in 4K resolution. I can still play God of War 3 on my PS3, and my God of War 3 still looks better than your Mario 64, and you know what I mean, has better graphics.
Yeah.
I'm a graphics art, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying is that how they did us on Digital Foundry this generation.
So you want a 4K option for every game?
Yeah, or whatever. I'm just saying if the console is powerful enough to do it, then do it. You know what I mean? If you want to scale it back and turn up. Here's the thing. I don't know if they're going to. Would you want the option like in PC gaming? Would you turn shit up, turn shit down? Do you
Definitely.
guys want
You know
that?
what? No, just simple. Just keep it simple. 4K max settings that the system is capable of doing. 1440p, 60 frames per second max settings that the console is capable of doing, and 1080p, 60 frames per second max settings that the system is capable
That'd
of
be
doing.
like max
Simple.
settings across the board, no
Simple.
problem.
Simple. Just keep it simple. And just like a toggle. What do you want it? You want 1440p, you want 4K, you want 1080p, and automatically the system says, okay, it's a 1080p game. This game we can do it to 60, maybe 90 frames per second, but honestly tell you, you just need 60. Like all these guys saying, oh, I got 140 frames per second. Yeah, that's great and dandy, but honestly tell you, 60 frames per second is all that you really need for a smooth game.
Yeah, they're all in competitive gaming. That's why they do that shit. They don't want to see a single frame rate drop because they make money playing the shit professionally. Not to mention their monitors handle that shit. Most people's TVs don't even see 144 hertz.
No.
What do
no,
you
they
guys
don't.
do? You guys think the developer's choice on the 4K situation is going to depend on how many TVs are in people's homes that can do 4K?
Oh, they should just make it standard. This 4K setting, 1440p setting, 1080p setting. You adjust it to whatever TV you have.
They don't even have to complicate it that much, bro. Just 4K, like a 4K option or a 60 FPS option. Obviously, 60 flops is more than powerful enough to run every game out right now at ultra settings, maxed out completely, 60 FPS in a console environment. Like, it's simple, and it could upscale from 1080 to 1440. It could be dynamic, whatever, but they could easily do that. 4K or 60 FPS. It's really that simple.
Well, I was like, when do you think it's going to be in this situation? Like, because when the Xbox One and the PS4 come out, you had to have an HDMI TV, and if you didn't have an HDMI TV, you had to have a converter. Do you think it's going to be like that, or do they think it's going to make it more simple?
No, it's not even close to the same scenario because all of that stuff works universally. You're just going to see the maximum resolution of your current display.
Okay. Yeah. Well, any day. Well, like this. Day one is this Scorpio. Are you guys getting the S? The Xbox?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get those 18 hours 3 weeks in a row. I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Need that money.
Right after the conference, I pre-ordered mine, man. Got right on top of that. Boom.
Okay. And Billy, you're just waiting for the.
I mean, like I said, guys, HDR is nice, 4K Blu-ray player is nice, but I'm saving that $300 and putting it towards the Scorpios, probably $500 next year.
Okay. All right. So what about you?
Still works great. Does everything it needed to do.
And other people, they can keep trading up. They can trade their current Xbox in for the S, and then
the S will hold its value much better than the original X1S.
Yep.
Because 4K Blu-ray players are only going to be more and more in demand over the next few years.
Yeah. And they're dictating the market right now with that price. Yep. $299? Are you kidding me? And it's a gaming system. That price is insanely low.
Yep,
and it's a Roku box, and it's a fucking this and that.
That $299 version isn't going to be available until after the August launch.
Even when it doesn't matter. Whenever that one. You know what I think they're saving that one for, to be completely honest with you? I think they're saving that one for when the PS4 Neo comes out. Because I'm pretty sure the Neo's coming out at $399. For sure it's going to come out for $399. And they're going to say, hey, we got a $299 Xbox One for all you guys that want to do some HDR gaming and want to watch HDR Blu-rays. And they're gonna negate the advantage of Sony trying to get the casual Blu-ray, the casual gamer that just wants a Blu-ray player, and it happens to be a console. They'll negate that because they'll be like, hey, it's $299, it's cheaper than this one. Boom, done deal.
All right, well, shit, man. So let me ask you like this: Are any of you guys have any concerns going from the quote unquote the vanilla Xbox One into the Scorpio? Do you guys have any concerns going forward as far as the future of gaming, or as far as with Microsoft with the Xbox? Do you have any concerns about anything?
Man, I would say that with the UWP, as I've talked about in my fucking last video, actually, UWP, people think it's two different consoles, like the 360 and Xbox One. They have to develop for this and to make the game over again for better settings, when it's not the case. It's basically just a patch, or using the UWP to scale and optimize things for any device. That's the reason they put Windows 10 on Xbox One, just so you know. So my only concern with the Scorpio is, are they consumer conscious when it comes to the pricing? Obviously, this thing should not be over $500. And also, will you be able to play all the games in 60 FPS? Because that's the main reason that I would want this thing. And hopefully they figure that out. I think developers will obviously make more 60 FPS titles because they know only 5% of the population that really are into this have 4K TVs. So I think they'll focus on that first, but the games are going to look phenomenal. Like, you're not going to give a shit. So people are going to be blown away.
Okay, what about you, Dealer or Dean? I'm sorry, not Dean, Dealer, TV Pro or Dean. Do you guys have any concerns, anything going forward?
I think the only concern is make sure your launch lineup is perfectly sound. I think that's my only concern.
I mean, there is no launch lineup, man. It's like an Xbox One. You got all the same shit. It's not like you're launching a new console.
Okay.
Forza 7's going to work. Forza Horizon 3, everything.
I got a good question. Okay. All right, now, so I guess you're saying we're not going to have any quote-unquote... Now, how is that going to pan out? Let's be honest here, even for us with Sony, because they're releasing, quote-unquote, a new console this year, right? The PlayStation 4 Neo. And that console technically is not going to have any, quote-unquote, exclusives. That's always been the dangling carrot to get people to upgrade to their newer hardware. So say, hey, we got it's exclusive here, but we got Killer Instinct. You can't get Killer Instinct on the 360. If you want to play Killer Instinct or Halo 5, you got to get the Xbox One. We're not going to have that anymore going forward. So do you think that's going to hurt gaming? Because I'm saying, like, you know,
I think media is going to have a field day with that concept.
Yeah, because
at least all the ponies will have a field day with that.
But they're going through the same goddamn thing also, so I don't know what the fuck they're going to say. But is that kind of like opening Pandora's box?
Bro, here's the deal. People are going to see these. This is the real next generation. You guys want graphics? This is it. People don't realize what 16 flops is in a console. That's fucking crazy. All right, so this is the real next generation. You're going to see these graphics, and you're going to be like, fuck, I've got to get this. Because this, I mean, it's just going to make every game more fun. You can have both. You can have a great game like The Witcher 3 running at 1080p or higher 60 FPS max settings. You're going to be blown away, and you're going to want to play it that way for $500 every time.
I'm just saying, like, you know, because I was like, what was the game? Scalebound. That was I thought that was supposed to come out in. Like, do you like what big exclusive do you think is going to launch with quote unquote Project Scorpio or Xbox Scorpio? You know what I mean? It's going to need something to say, you know what, the flagship title. Look how beautiful this game runs on the Xbox Scorpio. You're going to need something like, you know what I mean? Like,
God, really not though, man, because there are PC games right now that look so phenomenal that you're gonna. I mean, if you could see The Witcher 3 maxed out on PC. It looks so phenomenal that if you could play that on your Xbox and then some, because it's going to be more powerful on the PC I'm playing on, it just doesn't matter. It's not about that anymore. You're looking at real next generation games that are going to really change people's minds in a heartbeat. All these people that were against are going to see this shit and be like, oh, fuck. And they're going to go buy it.
But here's the thing, though. Let's be honest here. How are they going to see it? Because
they walk in Walmart, man.
Okay. It's if they're not doing the bullshit. They ain't got the TV set right.
No, they're Lord and Savior Digital Foundry, but go get this shit. It looks better.
Yeah, but I'm just saying because on YouTube, all the fucking money that you're making, you need to fucking update your HTML. What the fuck they're using? But you know, video games on game, it doesn't look the same as inside your home. Like my man, he just not got him an Xbox One. I was like, yo, what the fuck? He got a 360. He just came home from jail. He got a 360 2 years ago, so this shit still looks new and fresh to him. I'm like, yo, man, yo, call up on that battle, but I don't play on no fucking 360, bro. Man, these graphics are crazy. And I had a cookout at the house and shit for my daughter's graduation, right? And he was in there fucking around with the EA Axis. Like, what's EA Axis? And like, all these apps, this shit is confusing. And as soon as he saw our Battlefield, that nigga went out the next day and got him a motherfucking Xbox. Because
exactly, man.
I was trying to show him, the clips on YouTube, and it doesn't, you don't really see that big of a jump. Really looking at what you have in your house and what you're seeing on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really. You don't see the full, quote unquote, leap. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get the.
I think it'll be a lot of word of mouth, man, and. Just like the Xbox One. I mean, people couldn't tell the difference sometimes with YouTube on Xbox One and the 360, even though there's a pretty good difference. Yeah. Go back and play some of these back compat games, like even recent ones like Saints Row 4. It's night and day.
I'm not negating that. But also, too, Microsoft, you guys have to step your game up. The Upload Studios, that 720 compression shit, because that head game don't look like...
It's not even 720, man. It's sub HD.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. Like, you know what I mean?
Scorpio, they can capture 1080 video and render it in no time.
Oh, yeah, it's more powerful. You know what I mean? I don't know if it has anything to do with the bandwidth as far as online. You know what I mean? Saving the file or whatever the case online and all that stuff and transferring over. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because believe it or not, the Xbox One does have also additional 8 gigs of flash. That's for the media stuff, you know what I mean? So on top of the 8 gigs of RAM, it also has 8 gigs of flash. You know what I mean? And that's supposed to be for all the media stuff that that we do, or the snap and hold and go back to it and all that stuff. So I'm just saying, as far as going forward. But here's another thing too. Once the Scorpio come out, what improvements from the quote unquote Xbox One that we have now? Because you got to have something on your Scorpio that's not present on the Xbox One. It can't be the same. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not going to be the same because these graphics.
No. What's what I mean? Let me reword this. I'm just talking about as far as not just graphics. I'm just talking about like far as what the console can do, like the feature wise, and you understand what I'm saying? Okay, like we got all the multitasking, all the different windows.
I would like to be able to upload clips and do all that while I'm doing something else.
Okay, I'll say there you go. Like what new features, enhancements would you like the Scorpio to have over the quote unquote the Xbox One that you're going to take advantage from day one? Like
Yeah,
that's
I mean, this thing is like almost rock solid with features, but yeah, definitely one thing definitely steps out is my ability to upload clips directly to YouTube, not have to upload them to upload and then upload those
Yeah,
uploaded clips to
jeez.
YouTube. That's annoying. And secondly, I'd like to be able to do anything else while things are uploading to YouTube or upload, which I know that's demanding because you're using that GPU to render the clip and then you're uploading it at the same time. But you know, I mean, it's Microsoft, right?
Mhm.
I
They can do
would
it.
I would like to be able to share my YouTube videos on the actual Xbox feed.
Yeah,
I know that's supposedly going to be coming this year, but I would like to see an improvement of that. I know that the online server connection would be better with the enhanced bandwidth. I would like more PC integration apps. Just like this, take the Xbox One experience that we have now and then like duplicate it but enhance it.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, dealer? Dean.
Um, I don't know, man. I'm pretty satisfied with what's coming, man. That 4K HDR gaming on the Scorpio, it's gonna be insane, man. The Xbox One, it pretty much does everything that I want to do now. The direct uploads to YouTube, I definitely would like that, and be able to put on your feed. That's a good idea as well. But apart from that, I don't know, man. Maybe like
Maybe like
maybe
game share.
yeah, well, yeah, game
And
share.
also dedicated servers for parties. Holy shit, Microsoft. Where did those go? Because that's something that I need when I'm on campus. I can't join any parties because the NAT settings suck. So, I don't know where the fuck those went, but that was supposed to be a thing over a year ago. And they're gone. So, what
Yeah,
about
but-
you, Zaire?
What about me? I want black hookers and white hookers to both please me on this console. You know what I mean? Black and white.
A built-in
Fuck
foot job machine?
Yeah. Fuck that. I don't want any fucking Jim Crow laws when it comes to me dating these hookers on Craigslist. But nah, seriously, what? I mean, Jesus, because to me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I always say I'm gonna say this. When I got the original Xbox, talking about the OG Xbox, I thought that was the greatest console ever. I was able to put the CD in there, music, and it was ripping while I was playing Tony Hawk and all that shit. I thought it was the dopest shit ever, right? And then I got the 360. Oh my gosh, you can see me while I'm in parties and party chats before with the quote unquote with the OG Xbox. We did have a party chat, but you couldn't be inside the game. We just be in this fucking long ass, like 100 people in one fucking room, just fucking bugging the fuck out. But you
Yeah, I remember that.
you couldn't play any games, so you were just right there, just what I mean. Then it went for the 360. And I thought the 360 was like it was crazy because it's how much gaming has gone forward. I couldn't wrap my head around. I'm watching Netflix. And before, with the 360, we can all be in the fucking party and watching the same goddamn movie.
Yeah,
I would like
that
to see
was
some of
dope.
that come back. That shit was
That
dope,
was
you know
dope.
what I mean?
Yeah, the
Yo,
universal
so-
control options too, like invert Y on every game, for instance. All that stuff. I don't know where that's at, but that seems so easy to implement. They haven't done it.
That may be more or less up to the developer, probably.
No, I mean, like, the 360 had an option where you could go in there and set invert Y for every game you play. It'd be automatic.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? Like,
okay.
it doesn't have any of that. You could set your primary and secondary color. I'd also like, and I've always thought about this, to be able to hook my phone up to this console somehow. So if I get a text, it pop up on the screen. Or if I get a phone call, I got a headset on, it comes through my controller. Like, that'd be fucking
Okay. You know what? Honestly,
That's a
I
good
guess
idea.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The Xbox One can do that now.
Well, through Skype.
Yeah, not even so much Skype because the Xbox One has what you call Wi-Fi Direct technology. You know what I mean? If you look at your cell phone, you have Wi-Fi Direct also. If you hook it up to the same, as far as the network, if Microsoft probably with our software, they can. I'm more than. I know that
I'm
they
sure
can do
they
that.
could do it. But
Yeah,
I'm just saying I'd like
if they
to.
do your phone, yes. If you go to your phone, go to setting, you have Wi-Fi Direct, and they also, like I said, and this is something I can talk about. A lot of features of the Xbox One console that Microsoft talked about at launch that I were hyping, like the Wi-Fi Direct, able to send over 250 megabytes of information per second. Like that was all about. Like, oh, that's dope shit. And then the console came out. Maybe it's because the console that they wanted to give us we couldn't get. You know what I mean? Because of the always online and a lot of features, bro, were taken away from us.
And that Wi-Fi Direct to use in the controllers is just far better than Bluetooth 4.0 or whatever.
Oh,
PS4 is.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
So they basically do that for less latency, and the controller can handle the bandwidth of this Skype codec that we're chatting. That's kind of what we're using Wi-Fi Direct right now. We got the best voice chat quality because of that.
Yeah, but man, at the end of the day, but like as far as like features wise, I mean, anyway, I was saying like I did not think the 360 was like the dopest console ever. Like, oh my god, these features. And then I got the Xbox One. I'm like, oh my god, because I'll always brag and about the features of the Xbox One, the multitasking. Like to me, it's been about I spend the majority of my time gaming on the Xbox One than I do the quote unquote PlayStation 4. It's a hassle to me when I want to pause the game, say to my daughter, Daddy, could you put Thundercats on? I want to watch this. I got to cut the actual goddamn game over to put it on Netflix on the PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? Like, I miss that, going from the Xbox One to the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
But what could they give me to, like, blow my mind? What new shit? I don't know. Maybe, no, know what? More, it's probably not even hard to do now, but I guess give us direct access to our Twitter accounts, Facebook accounts, social media, Instagram.
Twitter feed and all that, yeah. I don't use Twitter, but that sounds pretty cool.
Give maybe all of the apps that you have, quote unquote, on your Android or Apple phone. Give us that because they can do that now with that technology as far as Windows and shit. I don't know if they're still pushing
third parties though, man. Like the reason you can't see comments on the YouTube app, that's YouTube directly updating the Xbox version of YouTube and all that. I like to be able to see the comments. I like to do transparent snapping. So if you got a kid that wants to watch TV. Snap TV, it's just a box up in the top right of your screen without blocking off the game or changing the screen size on your game.
Even, like I said, even like with this more powerful GPU, of course, more powerful RAM, so whatever like that, what I mean? Also, too, I would like to be able to stream directly to YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? Like I can do on my PlayStation 4. And I know that's something that they can do right now on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
why it doesn't do it, I don't know. That's one that Sony has over Microsoft.
If they choose to keep Upload Studios, I would like the ability to actually put music in the background.
I don't know if they're going to do that before it's copywriting and stuff.
No, YouTube does it. And they got a bunch of free music you can get in.
Yeah, I don't know. But see, you don't monetize your videos anyway, T-Reaper, so, I guess, or whatever the case may be. But but even Upload Studio, I like the fact that we do have a green screen and stuff, but give us Upload Studio 2.5 or whatever. Just going forward. I know, like I said,
2.5, bro. 3.0. Shit.
There you go, whatever. But Microsoft, when it comes to software and networking, as far as features, that is their strong suit. This is what they do. This is what pays the bill. As far as them, But like I said, that's one of the things, like I said, going forward. But listen, before we get the hell out of here, talk about one little topic. You guys have any questions for us live on the show? We do like 3 or 4 questions before we get the hell out of here. Like this. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about that man came up during the week or last week, something you made a video on?
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
I just want to say the new console. Yeah, I want all these new features, all fine and dandy. The main thing for me, honestly, I want this machine to be a true 4K 60 frames per second machine. And the fact that Microsoft has come out and said that it's going to be capable of doing 4K 60 frames per second, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Six teraflops of performance inside a closed environment, in a closed box like that, that's going to be highly optimized, can definitely do it. And we don't know much about the CPU. Yes, the CPU is going to add some teraflops. It's not going to add a lot of teraflops. We're just going to add some teraflops. But we don't know how Zen, how it reacts to GCN 4.0. We don't know the benefits because you're going to have the CPU and the GPU from the same company on the same architecture in the same box. So we don't know the effect that this is going to have on it because this is all new technology. Like the new Polaris and the new Vega GPUs, they have a lot of new features in it, like improved rasterization. Like I don't want to get into the mumbo jumbo of it, but it's got a lot more advanced and what's the word I'm looking for? More just better ways of processing the
more efficient ways of processing it.
So we don't know the effect it's going to have on it. So all I want really for this console is to be 4K 60 frames per second. That's if it can do that, that's like a drop the mic moment. Boom, done, over.
Bro, before we let the keyboard warrior PC elitists waste too much of their fucking time typing down below, just because we say 4K 60 doesn't mean we mean ultra or on necessarily every AAA game. Of course, there's going to be some indies and things like that, but I think personally, Forza 7 will be something they try 4K 60 with, and it's probably going to look phenomenal.
Yeah. But I think they can do 4K 60 high settings, for sure. I think they can do 4K.
Well, I know that, even the 1080 and stuff like that, obviously, it's not a console. It's not nearly as efficient T-flop for T-flop, but, still, I think that's a lot to ask. I think people should not expect a whole fuck ton of that. I think you'll see plenty of 4K 30 high settings, for sure. But either way, I think they'll try 4K 60 with Forza 7.
They might can do 4K 60. I mean,
I'm lowballing shit, like I always do.
It's look like this though, Miller. We're talking about here's the difference. Like I said, well, one of the
I know it's several times more efficient.
Right? No, not even so much that. One of the advantages that as far as a console, period, is that the developer know the set specs of every goddamn console.
Yeah, they're coding directly
for whatever GPU is inside the Scorpio. They can do that whatever RAM. See, even though you may have the same GPU that's in a PC, that's in the quote unquote your console in the PC, you may have 85 gigs of RAM. You understand what I'm saying? And
yeah, I know, man. Trust me, you're preaching
for the average person out there that may not know, and I know you are.
Yeah. And I'm not saying it's not possible, but I think we'll see a lot of 4K 30 at high settings.
And again, I don't even give. Listen, again, I don't have a problem with 1080p 30. You know what I mean? You know what I don't want, and it's not so much a quote unquote about that Microsoft has to have the upper hand on quote unquote Sony, but I don't want how you say Boogie? Shout out to my man Boogie, he inboxed me the other day too. # no parity. Don't start your shit. Don't get my versions on my fucking games because you guys now, you developers don't want to deal with the console war. You know what I mean? Because you gave it. Listen, Microsoft, and it's your fucking fault. I heard some of the craziest resolution this generation, 900p, 792p. I ain't never heard that shit day in my fucking life. Like, what the fuck? I gotta get me a TV from Switzerland. I'm gonna get my
and they definitely didn't do that parity shit this generation either. I mean, it was 900 1080. They definitely didn't worry about parity this generation. So sure as fuck, don't do it with the Scorpio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if the quote unquote. If the Xbox Scorpio can achieve 4K, say it's a graphically demanding game, and it only can give me 4K 30. But if look at that game, that Nier game, for the PlayStation 4. You can play it in 1080p. You can play it in 1080p 30 or is it 720p 60 or something like that.
Yeah.
I believe so. You know what I mean? So leave I guess the option to myself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
With everything to whatever the case.
Yeah, that's mainly the first thing I would ask for, is 60 FPS option, or maybe just go for it on every title. You can do it, and the games look more than phenomenal. That's that good shit.
4K looks nice though, man. 4K is, man, 4K is sweet, man. Can't lie.
Yeah, you got the horsepower on that PC though to crank up all the fucking settings.
Yeah, and it's just wow.
You're running two 60 flop cards when you need to, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd rather have 60 FPS before anything.
Yeah. Okay. It's a difference, man.
Well, I'm not. You know what? Maybe I'm just a little old school. I don't give a fuck. I'm just. It's not a really. That's never. Honestly, I can say if the God's son is true, that's never been a big thing to me. Like, as far as frames. It's not. But being that they made it such a big deal, this. If my preferred console, if it's more powerful, don't get my versions. You know what I mean? Because you guys don't tired of hearing the bullshit, or you tired of getting death threats. But we can close the show with this. What do you think about all the harassment that the Microsoft executives have been getting since the announcement of the Scorpio about it being more powerful? What do you guys think about that shit? They've been getting harassed.
It's funny as fuck, dude. Mike Jabbar is like basically fuck you guys. Like, it's hilarious because you got a bunch of 12-year-olds that have figured out how to use Twitter, and they're going after Mike Ybarra, and go buy a Scorpio, motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's but listen, I don't recall any Xbox fans, quote unquote, harassing Yoshida or
because we don't do that shit, man.
Or because the PS4 is more powerful. Like what? That's like what? This is crazy. I guess the days of social media. But you know what happens though when gamers do shit like that, they make all gamers listen. Because what the media doesn't look at the quote unquote fan base. They say gamers in general. They like that. Like and again, that's one of the reasons why I couldn't see myself being a primary quote unquote PlayStation gamer and just playing online and all that stuff. It fucking always console war because I'm a gamer in the day, but some of you motherfuckers are just downright weird. And I know you got weirdos on both sides of the fence. I'm not negating that, but to come out and now you're harassing the execs because the Xbox Scorpio is not a myth anymore. It's much more powerful than the Neo. Now you guys want to harass execs and all that shit. I think it's the create. That shit is fucking pathetic, man.
What's fucking pathetic is now we got places like The No making videos about Microsoft getting out of games. I mean, it's all clickbait, all of it.
Yeah.
Because one fuckface analyst who's never been right about anything says Microsoft's getting out of games when they just revealed 2 new consoles. Like, what a fucking moron. That analyst should be fired.
Fuck them, man. Honestly, to tell you, I'm happy as a Microsoft fanboy, or whatever you want to call me. I'm happy that they saw what we went through, how we got disrespected for having the weakest console, and how we stuck with them, and they rewarded us for it. We're now gonna have a 6 teraflop system. The system's so powerful, Sony got scared and then showed Neo at E3. Okay?
Wait, hold up. Let me get this motherfucker here a round of applause for that one, man. Jesus Christ, man.
Well, I gotta commend the developers for taking all that hate, because they took that hate for us. They didn't care. All they cared about was us, the gamer, and they basically.
Except for Konami. Fuck you, Konami.
Fuck you, Konami. Yeah, but they cared about the gamers first, and all that backlash second. So I give Microsoft and all those dedicated producers and game developers a round of applause.
Okay, all right. All right. Well, with that being said, before we go, I got 2 questions here. Well, not statements. I'm gonna see what you guys think about this. But my man, what's his name? Guys, I got some keyboard warriors in the goddamn comment section here. Shit is hauling ass by. The guy name is though Eastside 49er. He put here that Scorpio. Nope. Let me go back up. Goddamn, you got how many comments you got? Eastside 49er. There we go. He said, well, basically, I'm going to paraphrase here what he said. If I did miss, please forgive me. He basically said, from what I read before the screen hauled ass and shot by, that Scorpio launch games will be Scalebound, Crackdown, and Forza Motorsport 7. And if I forgot one, please forgive me. What do you guys think about that? Launch titles, you know what I mean? It's going to be Scalebound,
I think the next Halo will be one of them.
Next Halo?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I think so.
State of Decay 2. State of Decay 2 will definitely
It's 2 years, a new refresh, the perfect time. A new, more powerful console where you can really show off the graphics with no limitations. Why not? Why wouldn't you do it?
Oh, here's the thing. All right. So, what do you say? Quote unquote. Give me your games. You're saying it's going to be out during the holiday season for Scorpio. What are you saying, dealer? You said what?
No, I say obviously Forza 7. That's clockwork right there.
Okay.
They'll take advantage of the 4K 60. I do believe they'll manage it somehow.
Okay.
You've obviously got State of Decay 2.
Okay.
Scalebound. And you're going to have Forza Horizon, all the shit. That's why I say it's kind of weird to call them launch titles, because everything is a launch. Technically, the Scorpio, if you're going to say it's got launch titles, that motherfucker has more launch titles than any console in history, because every game on Xbox One works on it. So, it's kind of weird to call them launch titles. But yeah, they will come out around the time of Scorpio, and State of Decay 2 is the highlight for me.
Okay. All right. So before we get to highlight, let me ask you guys one question. Do you think maybe, like I guess to get Microsoft, because I've always said that I think that the quote-unquote the Xbox we have now is going to take over the quote-unquote 360. But do you see developers maybe in the future, or a year or two from now, that are going to make only PlayStation 4 Neo games and Xbox Scorpio games? Do you see that happening?
No, I don't. I personally, I think they're going to be both backward and forward compatible. So it's the
no, they are. But I'm just saying, as far as say if a new Unreal Engine comes out, and say if the Xbox vanilla and the regular vanilla PlayStation 4 can get Unreal Engine 5 in this game that's coming out, do you see developers making only games that are going to take advantage of the Scorpio and quote-unquote the PlayStation 4 Neo?
Well, eventually, I guess it would happen.
I'd say 6 years.
Yeah, you'd have to move forward, but yeah, I wouldn't say anything before 5 or 6 years for that to happen.
5 or 6 years. Anything you want to add to that, T. Sweaty Ball Sweeper?
I think if the game makes sense, I think they'll take advantage of it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for rocking out with the weekly Xbox Beastfire podcast. Yeah. So, thank you for rocking out with us. It's been fun. I'll catch you guys tomorrow on the Multiplayers podcast, and we out of here, man. Bang, bang.